Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome. Turn your phones off. No phones on, please. Welcome to the annual Charter Day celebration. I have to use my notes because I'm old.
You need to say it twice because we're old too.
Oh my goodness. There's a jokester. I need to say this though. My name is Walter Spur. I'm a member of the board of directors of the Fairhaven Historical Society. We are especially happy today that you chose to attend this year because we're proud to host the premier presentation of Spittin' Lyon, a musical play about the life of one of Fairhaven's best-known founders, Matthew Lyon. We want to thank Pastor Jane, the Board of Trustees of the First Congregational Church, for their generous, and I mean very generous, allowing us to stage this play, this musical, right here in front of you today. Matthew Lyon was one of 77 founders of the town of Fairhaven. There were 76 men and 1 woman. Her name was Elizabeth Chittenden. Familiar name? Wife of Thomas Chittenden. He was the governor. However, they weren't appointed by the governor of New York or the governor of New Hampshire. And the reason the charter was issued was from the independent Republic of Vermont, originally named New Connecticut. That's why so many towns here are named after towns in Connecticut. We weren't a colony, we weren't a state. Neither one of them would have us. And we sort of played between the two. See which one was going to come out on top. The founders were brave, incredibly industrious, and resilient. Matthew Lyon was one of them. He was the one who helped build the town among those 77. But he began as a virtual slave. And he rose to become a congressman. Sort of like the American dream, wasn't it? He was just a boy then. This is his story. Spittin' Lyon.
Nature has left this tincture in the blood.
That all men would be tyrants if they could.
If they forbear the future to devour.
'Tis not for lack of will, but lack of power.
My name is Matthew Lyon. They told me I was born in Wicklow County on July 15th, 1750. We all know we've always been a half-crown short and a year and a day late. No matter. My father was a farmer and a rebel. He planted the seeds of rebellion where I come from.
Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. On the Isle of Emerald, with O'Reilly's golden tongue. Come and sit and sing along. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Hear the calling of the harp. Find your darling a shamrock. You may tie the Celtic knot. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Where we grow the grass green, and we graze the cattle's fat. On the land we handed down. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Well, the king, he made the land grab. He said, I want to see your land grants. And the Irish, we got none of that. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Where the strongest trees are growing, that's where Matthew Lyon's from. Well, the Irish, they took a stand, but the king, he cut them down, and he murdered Matthew's dad. Where the strongest trees cut down, that's where Matthew Lyon's found. Where the strongest trees cut down, that's where Matthew Lyon's found.
King George had all the captured rebels executed by hanging. That left widows and fatherless children, orphans like me. In Wicklow County, one of those widows was my mother. She was a woman of strength and honor who decided to make the greatest sacrifice of all.
My son of 12,
I'm 14.
there's historical conjecture about that, but let's move on. My son of 12, you must go, for you'll surely seek revenge. I know your ways, you'll never rest, and this king will be your end. Maybe it's because there are no female characters in history. Whoa! Or maybe it's because, well, the men make decisions, the women feed. There he goes. Maybe it's because my son of 12. My son of 12. I have one goal. You must travel to the new world. Sign up upon a cabin boy. Surely the captain keeps his word. Maybe it's because you need a female to play upon your sympathies. Whoa. Or maybe it's because, well, the men make decisions, the women feed their families. Or maybe it's because my son of 12. Grace, for I'll never see your face. You must be bold, you must be strong. Remember, you are a lion. Maybe it's because I know what you made of I gave birth to thee. Whoa, or maybe it's because there are no women written in our history. Whoa, or maybe it's because my son of 12. 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 My son of 12.
Sure, I was trusting a dishonorable ship's captain who told me no money for a ticket to promised land. When you get there will be plenty of work for you to become a special kind of servant for a few years, and then you will be free. But until then, you're just going to have to sweat a little for your indentures. Sign your name at the bottom, boy.
I'm sold for sweat. I'm sold for toil. I fell on hard times. The captain made sure I'm sold for sweat. I'm held in bind. I kept my shoulder to the grindstone, knowing someday I'll get my freedom. I'm sold for sweat. I'm sold for toil. My owner, a merchant from New York, cornered the market on the pork by the name of Bacon. You've heard of bacon. Everybody loves bacon. I'm sold for sweat. I'm sold for toil. My neighbor Jeffrey worked harder than me, but he'll never be a free man, 'cause he's an African and sold for sweat and sold for toil. My owner needs to move his meat. I bartered 2 bulls for my freedom. The bulls redeemed me. The bulls redeemed me. The bulls redeemed me. The bulls redeemed me. And now I'm free. You know how I feel about the monarchs and the aristocrats. There's that one tyrant who gave the order to kill my father, and war with him and his thousands of redcoats is coming, Ira.
Yes, I know, Matthew. My brother Ethan and Seth Warner said the same thing. There's real trouble brewing in the colonies, but liberty trees are being planted up and down.
Well, I hope they keep them growing. All this talk of trees has me dreaming of moving up to the New Hampshire Grants. They got all that land there. It's the perfect place to start a family with Mary and have real freedom. and a farm of our own. Oh, hello, Mary. I was just talking to Ira about moving north to the Green Mountains. It'd be a great place for us to have a start, if I'm strong enough and brave enough. Who am I? Am I free now? Is that the Hampshire grants that I hear call? Who am I? I'm an orphan in a strange land with no mom or dad. And these hands, what can I build with them? What can I conquer? What can I hold? My whole life is taken from me, but I've got freedom in my soul.
Who are you? You're an Irish lad, got poetic blood and a hard head. Who are you? You're a lion with a heart of steel. You're my love, and your hands go on and build with them. You need not conquer, only to hold. Our whole life is made for this moment. Can you feel it in your soul?
Who am I? I'm who I'll make me, with an iron will worthy of my name. Who am I? I'm Matthew Lyon, and I'll make my mark, or make my grave. And these hands, what can I build with them? What can I conquer? What can I hold?
Our whole life is made for this moment. Can't you feel it in your soul?
Wife of mine, we've found our place in the world, and it's called Fairhaven.
This is the place.
It's perfect. Perfect for starting a family and building a town.
Mary and I were married in 1773. I worked and saved my money, and along with Ethan and Ira Allen, Seth Warner and Thomas Chittenden, and others like us, 1 year later, we all moved our families from Connecticut to a beautiful spot near Lake Champlain.
King owns this street to do as he pleases. The king owns this street, it's his majesty's after all. Can the commoners know after all? Feed the horses the oats so the birds can get some too. Wealth trickles down on you. The king owns this soil for here and ever after.
your lord, and you are his vassal after all. What can the commoners know after all? Feed the horses the oats so the birds can get some too. Wealth trickles down on you. After all, what can the commoners know after all? Feed the horses the oats, the American eagle takes flight into his majesty's wide open skies. Wide open skies.
Ethan was right to get the boys ready for action, starting out with our raid on Fort Ticonderoga. Now, mind you, there were more weapons of war at Fort Ty than anywhere else in the rebelling colonies. The weather was nasty that night, but the whiskey was dry.
Valley Forge is a bad memory, but taking part in the defeat of Burgoyne's army, first at Bennington, and then at Saratoga. We celebrated Cornwallis's surrender, and they're all good memories. We're united and have become a new nation, ruled by one thing, the will of the people.
A new country is born. Matthew is working hard to build our little town in Fairhaven. It will be a mill town with jobs for everyone and a real school for the children.
My darling Mary had borne us 4 great sprouts, and we were well settled in our Fairhaven town when, sadly, she got the fever, and God called her to heaven. With 4 handfuls to raise up and 3 mills and a forge to attend on the Castleton River, my store, the tavern to run, as well as a newspaper to publish, I needed help. My friend Thomas Chittenden had a daughter, Beulah, who was recently widowed and had a child of her own. She was a frontier daughter, already hardened by the rough challenges of life, and we were happily married in 1785. Beulah was my best friend and dearest partner for the rest of my life.
My new husband, Matthew, has the mills buzzing with life. And the town is buzzing. He was elected to the Vermont legislature, making laws for the state. And now he is running for Congress to represent all of Western Vermont.
While we wait for the votes to be counted, let's have a toast. Here's to Ethan Allen, oracle of reason.
Here's to Matthew Lyon and his fiery tongue.
Here's to Chittenden, may he make it home to Williston.
And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys.
Here's to liberty, may the flag wave free.
To self-government, none above the law.
And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys.
Here's to legal rights, evenly enforced.
Under no man's rule, but to truth and law.
And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys.
hereby demand that the truth shall win. We hereby demand a government of citizens who solemnly affirm to protect and defend
For the freedom to worship as you believe.
And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys. To the printing press, say what must be said.
To the immigrants as we welcome them.
And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys.
Raise your cup for those who have fallen before.
Matthew, you've won. You've been elected to Congress. We must depart at once for the Congressional Hall in Philadelphia.
Oh, Congressman Lyon. I'm Roger Griswold of Connecticut. You are just barely on time. There are your notes. We are about to inaugurate, yes, that's the proper word, to His Excellency President John Adams.
Mr. Griswold, sir, there must be some mistake. Your notes say that we're to genuflect to the president.
What is that accent? You're quite correct, sir. His Excellency strongly suggests that no one address him without first kneeling. Of course, the gentleman of good blood will be invited to stand after the correct salutation.
That's outrageous. Are you telling me the entire Congress and all the representatives will be on their knees? We don't have kings here. We're co-equal branches.
The tradition of the House. Upon inauguration, the members shall attend to the audience of the President. At such times it is common to fawn on his agenda for the blessing to have served. Lyon has none of that.
We are co-equal branches on the tree of democracy. We are co-equal branches, I'm not on bended knee. We are co-equal branches on the tree of democracy. We are co-equal branches, I'll not attend to thee.
Tradition of the Lord's attending White Aristocrat Association for mutual admiration. Lyon has none of that.
We are co-equal branches on the tree of democracy. We are co-equal branches, I'll not attend to thee. We are co-equal branches on the tree of democracy. We are co-equal branches, I'm not on bended knee.
For tradition of the House, upon inauguration, the members shall attend to His Excellency the President. He is the heir to the American throne. Let it be known, we have a traitor here.
We are co-equal branches on the tree of democracy. We are co-equal branches, I'll not attend to thee. Mirror, mirror, Mr. President.
Democracy.
Mirror, mirror, Mr. President.
I'll not attend to these. We are co-equal branches on the tree of democracy.
Hear me roar.
I'll not bend the knee.
Me roar, me
branches on the tree of democracy.
The gentlemen of Connecticut yesterday wished there was better blood and better accent to carry the question. I have no objections to gentlemen of high blood carrying this address. I have no pretensions of high blood, although I think I have as good a blood as any of them, as I was born of a fine, hale, and healthy woman. Before yesterday, I had not heard of gentlemen boasting of their blood in this house. It is true. I cannot say that I'm the descendant of the bastards of Oliver Cromwell, or his courtiers, or of the Puritans who beat their horses for working on the Sabbath, or from those that persecuted the Quakers or hanged the witches. But I can say that this is my country, for I have no other. And I own a share of it, which I have bought by means of honest industry. And I fought for my country. In every day of her need, I've repaired to her standard and conquered under it. And that conquest has led my country to independence. And being independent, I'll call no man's blood into question.
Fought for your country, repaired to her standard? Out of curiosity, sir, did you bring your wooden sword?
He lies to Congress, he lies to his constituents.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to have it introduced into the congressional record that Representative Lyon from Vermont was accused and found guilty of dereliction of duty. He was cashiered from the Continental Army under General St. Clair and awarded a wooden sword.
Griswold! You popinjay! You have no idea what you're talking about. My rank? My rank was captain when I resigned my commission in General George Washington's Continental Army. My rank was captain when I saw friends lose lives and limbs serving under Colonel Seth Warner at the victories of Saratoga. And I took great pleasure, sir, when our enemies surrendered their weapons to us in 77. Where did you serve? My rank is Colonel in the Green Mountain Rangers. Do not question my honor, nor my willingness to fight for freedom, fight for democracy.
When you fight for democracy, do you use your wooden sword? I hear the wheat is dangerous in Jericho. Do you wield that wooden dagger, catch a splinter in your paw? Perhaps you've got your own tongue, Mr. Lyon. When you come to Connecticut to fight for democracy, will you brandish mighty pine? Is it long enough for the job? Can you not hear me, sir? Are you hard of hearing? You're certainly hardly worth hearing. Tell me now, when you come to Connecticut, do you use your wooden sword? Do you wear your badge of cowardice with your wife? Do you fight for democracy? Not that I could you at your word. but will you wear your woody for us to observe? Did you fight for democracy in the Revolutionary War? And you poke the British with your sword. How does it feel, sir, to carry a wooden sword? You are a coward and a scoundrel. How does that sound? Behold, a knight of the wooden sword. This isn't over.
For 2 weeks, each day, a vote to expel Lyon was taken, but the Federalists could not get a sufficient number of ballots to kick Lyon out. With his honor as a gentleman at stake, Griswold, who was rich, a Yale graduate, lawyer, and far above Lyon in social standing, could not challenge any man as low as an Irish dog to a duel. So Griswold walked the 2 or 3 blocks to a store on Chestnut Street and bought a hickory cane. He went back to Congress and walked up to Lyon, who was quietly writing at his desk. Griswold beat Lyon on the head and shoulders with his walking stick, just as if he would beat any slave or indentured servant he owned. Lyon, a war veteran, was familiar with close combat. He fought back with heavy metal tongs from the fireplace. They had to be pulled apart, and at the end, it was a bloody draw. But it wasn't the end. It was the beginning of Matthew Lyon's determined efforts to expose the truth about President John Adams, hinting to Congress for laws that would silence his critics, give him more power, and ignore the people's constitutional rights to freedom of speech and freedom of the press.
Matthew, are you still working on the campaign speech? It's the middle of the night. The Lion has to get some sleep tonight.
I've almost got it. You've a steadier hand than me. Would you mind writing it down as I speak? We'll put it in a letter and we'll send it to the Spooner's Vermont Journal. But any time I see a voter, I'll let them know what I've got to say. As to the executive, when I shall see the efforts of that power bent on the comfort, the promotion, and the happiness of the people, that executive shall have my zealous and uniform support. But whenever I shall, on the part of the executive, see every consideration of the public welfare swallowed up in a continual grasp for power, in an unbound thirst for ridiculous pomp or foolish adulation or selfish avarice, when I shall see men of merit, years, abilities, experience discarded for fear that they possess independence, and men of meanness preferred for the ease with which they take up and advocate opinions, the consequences of which they know little of. When I shall see the sacred name of religion employed as a state engine to make mankind hate and persecute each other, I shall not be their humble advocate.
It's really a good letter, Matthew. I'll give it to the postwriter in the morning, but mind you, it'll probably be a month before it's published. But there's nothing to stop you from giving the contents to the voters. And now, let's get some sleep.
Mrs. Lyon mailed the letter on the 20th of June, 1798, and it was published on July 31st. It became the strongest evidence of Matthew Lyon's alleged acts of sedition against the President and the government of the United States. Although it was written before President Adams signed the Sedition Act into law on July 14th, he was charged with violating a law before it was a law. The congressman was arrested, found guilty by a judge who was a personal friend of President Adams and a jury of Federalists. Lyon was sentenced to 4 months in jail and fined $1,000.
Silence! You may be a big shot with those seditious Democrat Republicans in Philadelphia, but here you are guilty on 3 counts of sedition. You are my prisoner, and we are going from Virgins to Rutland nice and slow so everybody can get a good look at you. A filthy traitor to the United States government is to His Excellency, President John Adams.
The president has the right to refuse you. The president has the right to refuse you. His Excellency may expel by such alien-born persons that he may judge to be dangerous to his rule. The president has the right to refuse you. The president has the right to refuse you. His Excellency may expel by such alien-born persons who shall print or publish against this government. Maliciously, I say to thee, the president has the right to refuse you. The president has the right to refuse you. You intend to disrepute, I refuse you. You intend to stir sedition, I refuse you. By this rightful law, I can imprison those who clearly threaten me or the peace and security. The president has the right to refuse you. The president has the right to refuse you. As I draw my quill upon this legislation, it is no accident, the day of its creation. Happy birthday, Mr. Lyon. The president has the right to refuse you. The president has the right to refuse you.
Arrested? Treason? My husband is a congressman. My father is Governor Chittenden. We will not be silenced. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Not a jury of his peers. Man of enmity to Lyon. You marched us 40 miles from our home. The judge appointed by Adams, wish he'd had a harsher sentence. Just bars for windows on the coldest of the year. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. A sitting congressman in shackles march through the town square. Have you not heard of checks and balances, sir? This letter postmarked the 7th of July, and yet not published till the 20th. Why? Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Who will be your next offender? Your agenda is dangerous.
you won't break our spirit. Who will be your next offender? Today Irish, tomorrow French. Who's to say you won't be next? The gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. And you're caught by the lion, like some tiger by the tail. You treat him like an enemy of the state. Far be it for a woman to play upon your sympathies. I thought you'd have your own good sense of dignity. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Who will be your next offender? Your agenda is dangerous. You won't break our spirit. Who will be your next offender? Today Irish, tomorrow French. Who's to say you won't be next? The gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. And we have a constitution. It would help if you would use it. Play another round of cricket. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. Perhaps the gentleman can explain. And if the gentleman can't explain, perhaps the gentlemen are to blame.
Beulah, what's the news?
Good news. Your latest writing was published in the Aurora.
The Aurora. Well, that's fantastic. That's Ben Franklin's newspaper.
It was Benjamin Franklin's newspaper until the president had his cronies dismantle it.
John Adams shut down Ben Franklin's newspaper. Well, what about the freedom of the press?
It's tyranny to speak against the president.
Oh, we'll see about that. Did you bring it? Have enough money, all that power to your head. You got no idea what you're up against. Must be cold in your ivory tower, when no one ever told the truth. Far below in the rising water, no one gives a damn for you. Attack the immigrants, 'cause they don't look like us, and they don't know, my God, what have we become? It must be cold in your ivory tower, when no one ever told the truth. Far below in the rising water, no one gives a damn for you. Must be cold in your ivory tower, when no one ever told the truth. Far below in the rising waters, no one gives a damn for you. Let's get one thing straight. What makes our country great? Our right to criticize is is beyond compromise. You must be cold in your ivory tower. But no one ever told the truth. Far below in the rising water, no one gives a damn for you.
"4 months in the Virgins' jail, trapped with the dregs of society as cellmates. It was stinking hell. Senator Mason of Virginia bought a saddlebag filled with gold collected from Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe to pay the $1,000 fine. Marshal Fitch and his deputies could not stop me from getting re-elected by a huge margin after the people of Western Vermont read how the president abused his power, jailed journalists, and shut down newspapers because they disagreed with the president's policies and his lavish behavior in office. But the people refused to be silent, and the marshal could not stop me from going back to work at Congress.
Make yourself comfortable, Lyon. For everything you've written from your jail cell is another charge of sedition.
The people have spoken.
You must be Marshall Fitch. I'm Senator Mason. I rode these hundreds of miles, saddlebags full of gold, from Jefferson, Madison, Monroe. Now it's hell or high water. Give us the light of the march. Hell or high water.
Give us the lion of the march.
I hear the Green Mountain Boys as they draw near. Now it's your life or theirs. Will you stand clear? It's hell or high water.
Give us the lion of the march.
Hell or high water.
Give us the lion of the march.
I have my orders clear. This man's a treacherous traitor, and he will stay right here. And I will serve him more papers. As long as he's in my precinct, he's a lion in a box. Hell or high water, give us the lion of the march. Hell or high water, give us the lion of the march.
I've sold our land, Matthew, to pay your bill, Matthew. We'll take the voice of the people, but not their coins. So here's your payment, Marshal. Set my husband free. He's off to Philadelphia, and there's a price to pay. Hell or high water.
Give us the lion of Vermont.
Hell or high water.
Give us the lion of Vermont. You must be Marshall Fitch. He's Congressman Lyon. He's on his way to serve, and it's out of your jurisdiction. It's hell or high water.
Give us the lion of Vermont.
Hell or high water.
Give us the lion of Vermont.
I'm off to Philadelphia.
And not a moment too soon. The Electoral College has failed. The second transfer of peaceful power in our country is in danger. It's up to the Federalist Congress now, and they are doing everything they can to lie and distract the voters to stay in power.
16 states, majority stake, Jefferson or Burr. 16 states, majority stake, this might not work. Electoral college with no return. So it falls on Congress's shoulders. Adams wasn't even close. So they chose 16 states, majority stake, Jefferson or Burr. 16 states, majority stake, this might not work. Congress knew all too well Burr was on the VP ballot, choosing party over state. Vote after vote, tied 8-8. So it goes. 16 states, majority stake, Jefferson or Burr. 16 states, majority stake, this might not work. The country is so young. The power struggle will come undone. In more danger by the hour. Can we peacefully transfer power? No one knows. Mr. Morris, if you leave your ballot blank, I'll leave Vermont. There's no home for me anyway, for all the Adams magistrates. Mr. Morris, have we reached an accord? Let your handshake be your word. 16 states, majority stake, Jefferson or 16 states, majority stake, Jefferson. We have a new president. 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 Jefferson. On March 4th, 1801, at 59 minutes before 1 a.m., I published an open letter to Mr. Adams. Fellow citizen, you came to this administration, sir, at a time when we were considered an asylum for the oppressed of all nations. And there was a great influx of foreign riches and industry and ingenuity. When the country was happy in the freedom of speech and of the press, and when the Constitution was considered a barrier against legislative, executive, or judicial encroachments, before offices, places, and contracts were considered an executive right of a favorite caste. Reflect a little, sir, and see this awful change made in 4 short years. Your mad zeal for monarchy, your love of pomp, your unhappy selection of favorites, your regardlessness of the public treasure has divided the people into parties and fostered amongst them malice and rancorous hatred toward each other. Under your administration, sir, a system of appointments has been established by which implicit faith in your infallibility and knack for discoloring the truth has become the only qualification for office. Perhaps in no instance has our Constitution, our sacred Bill of Rights, been more shamefully, more barefacedly trampled upon than in the case of the passage of this bill called the Sedition Law. This, sir, was your darling hobby horse. By this law, you expected to have all your follies, your absurdities, and your atrocities buried in oblivion. You thought by its terrorism to shut the mouths of all but sycophants and flatterers and secure yourself the presidency, at least. But I'll happily have you disappointed. The truth has issued from many a patriot pen, and you have fallen, never to rise again. Nature has left this tincture in the blood.
That all men would be tyrants if they could.
If they forbear their neighbor to devour.
'Tis not for lack of will, but lack of power.
There are some people we'd like to thank. First Congregational Church Pastor Jane, Ronald Lynn Stack, Kate Hill, and the Board of Trustees for giving us access to the church in these strange times. We'd like to thank the Fairhaven Historic Society President Victoria Angus, board members Judy Sheldon, Ann Bucci Ellis, Jim Proctor, Janice Kelleher, Amy Preger, and Seal Hunt. One other thing we'd like to point out. When you leave this church today and look across the road, you will see a beautiful park that was donated to the town of Fairhaven, to you, by Congressman Colonel Matthew Lyon. Thank you again for having us. Here's to Ethan Allen, oracle of reason.
Here's to Matthew Lyon and his fiery tongue.
Here's to Chittenden, may he make it home to Williston. And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Here's to liberty, may the flag wave free.
To self-government, none above the law.
And here's to the Green Mountain Boys. Yes, here's to the Green Mountain Boys.